Anyways, welcome to the live, guys. How are you all? It's quite a long time that I have come live to speak to you. But first of all, I want to take this opportunity to wish Mama Ada and her son Junior and the rest of the rest of the children, condolences for the loss of a father. First of all, as a family, it is very difficult to lose a father, and of course to lose a husband, because that is the time the woman realizes the weight that was there. It's a heavy weight. Actually, some families, some people do even sell land and so forth, and I'm sure we are aware of this. Some women have been left by their wives, but they couldn't, their husbands, but they couldn't manage, the assets and the resources, so they end up, selling them. So it is kind of difficult for Mama Inda, and we pray for her and her progress. I also want to thank Raira. I have never been his diehard in politics, as you know. My politics run differently, and I have my different views. I also have different opinions, which ought to be respected, as I respected his, even though to an extent I found him going to extreme. But as I come to this moment, I really had taken a little break for the people to mourn, and I believe now they have mourned, not for enough, but because people keep talking up things. This has brought into my attention that I really need to say something, so that we may either stop it, or if we want to continue, we continue. But if you want to continue, make sure you have weapon yourself. Make sure you are strong enough to bear it. Yeah, and so I bring this because I do not think Raila was that reckless, even though I have heard him talking recklessly. There are times he joke aloud with the private parts and so forth, which is not really necessary. But then I understand in his community, I mean, they do not pass through the circumcision rites, so that also makes you a little bit slack, because there are some words that you don't utter really in public and so forth. Yeah, but so I respect that still. There are times, for instance, he spoke about, I don't know, Makidi or something like that. Yeah, those are things that we don't utter in my culture unnecessarily. Some people do, but it's out of respect. And then there was a time I heard him celebrating. He celebrated Rigathi Gachagua's, the deputy president's impeachment. I heard him myself in one of the meetings. Yeah, he said waliamua wafukuze ile mtu ya nini ya shares. Yeah, ile mtu ya mitego. Yeah, I heard him celebrating. And so, to an extent, we don't talk of the evil of the person, but that is evil. That is evil. And none of you dare to claim. And I'm calling most of you hypocrites. Most of you Kenyans behave like hypocrites and are hypocrites. I mean, I listen and I follow the whole thing, the funerals, I try to follow. And I was like, even those who are speaking evil of Raila, in fact, not even the Gen Zs, they had no room for Raila. Since Raila joined, hi, Sadis, Hampton, thank you very much. Thank you for joining the live. Bless up, bless you, my dear. Yeah, so, hear me now. Even the Gen Zs themselves, in the past, let us say like 1 year, since Raila joined the broad-based, they have been against him. They have been against him. They have been against him supporting and also joining this murderer or this killer for Ruto, because Ruto have been very been very devious, in the way he acts and the way he behaves and so forth. He has not been behaving like a president in the country. Yeah, he has truly been devious. Devious. Remember, he killed the Gen Zs, and one of the things I must say that was very powerful, with the rider. I mean, I remember him asking Ruto, but this is after the opposition, which is actually led now by Legeji, after they mentioned about the killings that were going on, and so it was then that Raila got courage and warned Ruto in one of the meetings and said to him, all those who are missing must be released from where they are, all those who have been abducted, because it has become a government, call it broad-based or broad-based bread or broad-bread government, whereby most young people have been abducted, most of them just because of, saying what it is. Most people don't like the truth. When you tell them the truth, they're going to kill you. A number of youths died. Most of them get pressed into their private and so forth, just because of, going against or being, anti-government. And that is very, very bad, because people should have the freedom of speech where they're allowed to express their feelings and their emotions. So it happened that, when the government was becoming chaotic, uh, Raila spoke, and Ruto seems to have reason to him, because the abductions kind of ceased. They did not end, but they ceased. And so, my brothers and sisters, I found that, the Gen Zs were against him because they found him as a betrayer. These are the things, some of the things that you guys did not speak at the funeral, you know? You hide it out. You only spoke about good things, right? Being a liberator, being a Joshua, even Caruso himself, being a Joshua, and you only spoke of the bad things that were done to Raila, but you never spoke of the bad things that he ever done to people. So that is hypocrisy. That is hypocrisy. I saw some people, beating the ground, crying. And in fact, if I may speak of the negative things that had happened during Raila's life, is that, most of the demonstrations that happened when Raila was alive, people died. And it is so sad that even during his funeral, the state funeral, about 5 people have been confirmed dead. And so those are some of the sad news that we can report, to the country and report to the continent, report it to the world. I mean, when a man was alive, people died in his gatherings. And even into his death, people died. Nobody speaks these things. Nobody did console. Look at it, how hypocritical we are. Nobody did console the families of those who were left, or those who lost their beloved ones during Raila's funeral. Nobody, not even the president. This is hypocrisy. And these are some of the things that we need to rise above. We need to know where we are as a people. We are lost. We have lost our direction. We have lost our truth. We just move with the, how you call it, with a wave. If the wind blows to the west, we blow with it. Come on, man. We have to wake up. We have to get up and tell the people what is right. Most of you never liked Raila, and I see you all of I mean, it is sad. People stood on the pulpit or whatever, on the podium, and all they could think of is about Rigathi. Let me tell you something. You see, we got respect from Mount Kenya. Respect. And respect is mandatory. We say it's mandatory. Okay? And I realized that Rigathi behaved himself He's not spoken, but he behaved like an elder. He behaved like a man. You know, he has realized that, you know, this man never liked him, you know, because he has announced it, he has spoken about it. And some of his followers, like Grace Wanga, want to take that hatred, you know, with her or with him to the grave. And so that is why she is saying that what was spoken by Kahiga, it was spoken by Rigathi. Rigathi has not said nothing. In fact, he sent a very powerful condolences to the family of Odinga. And thank God, because Odinga's son seems to have been maturing. So, Wanga, nakuuliza, sasa wewe, utaenda wapi? Juu utaona Rigathi akienda mpaka border. Utaenda wapi? Wewe utakuja Central. Utakuja Central. Nakuuliza wewe sahi. And I'm asking you hard. Will you ever step in Central Province? Will you ever step in Mount Kenya? Who are you to want Rigathi to go to border? Rigathi can go anywhere in the country. Leave him alone. Leave the man alone. He left you in the broad-based to eat up and suck up all that is in the government, okay? So you must never have anything to do with Rigathi. But you will see him seeking vote. You'll be surprised that most of the Gen Zs in the world and are not in your side. Okay, you'll be surprised because most of them are either going to follow Babu Owino, they're going to follow Sifuna, whom I heard earlier their projects, but it seems like they're a little bit truthful, yeah, to the cause, especially, you know, Babu Owino. I listen to him and he's kind of growing and maturing politically. Most of you, hata wewe Wanga, ulikuwa unamezea hiyo kiti, ulikuwa unafikiria utapewa. Sasa wamepea hiyo Oburu. Is Oburu a Gen Z? Oburu is an old man as well. So you guys are not doing anything better. You are not doing anything better. Raila was 80 years old. Okay? So he was supposed to leave a seat to someone maybe who is younger, if you guys have a concern for the young people. But you guys are trying to show that you have no concern for the young people, actually. I don't know if you realize this. Gen Z za mkeni. Sasa mnajionea nyinyi wenyewe. Kwa nini hawangechagua Sifuna? Kwa nini hawangechagua Babu Owino? Why? And these are the guys, you know, with the Niomena Mayo. You know, these are the guys with the stamina. You know, I mean, I look at the situation I love. You know, watu wa Nyanza, Wajaruo mchanuke. Mwachane na huyo Wanga wenu, mwachane na yeye kabisa. And I'm telling you, we're going to form the government. Just as you joke, as you watch, it is going to come back. It's going to come back. What was lost can be regained again. And it does not take too long to gain the momentum. Our slogan still remains, one term, one term, one term, one term. We are not going to change this. This will be the slogan. This is going to be in the literature. This is going to be in everything that we're going to do. So we are not going to change the slogan one term. Whether you hate Rigathi or accept him, it remains one term. You know, Kalonzo walienda kumon, you know, that is good, you know, and we thank you for going to mourn with the family, even though you are not considered as anything there, you know. Ruto thinks that he's going to win the ODM. In fact, he wanted to be in the wheelbarrow, you know. But I think ODM is bigger than he thinks. They cannot fit in the wheelbarrow. They just try to praise him, but basically they are not for him. They are not with him. Hata huyo Wanga hayuko. Akili yake ilipotea zamani. Akili yake iko far away. Ni mtu ajui kwenye anaenda, ni mtu ajui politics, you know. Ni mtu akona machugu. Ni mtu amejaa vita, amejawa na damu ya Gen Z. And so, you know, we have to be very careful of this kind of women. And you know, these are kind of demonics. They got demonic power. They're like witches. They're like wizards. They can create chaos. They can make country bad. But anyway, we are going to make one community ban, not all the communities. Wanga, be careful. Be careful of the terms that you utter. So Kahiga spoke. I don't know why people take things so seriously, you know. And let me tell you, do not put politics into your veins, into your bones, into your bones marrow. No, politics is just a pass. It's a pass-by game, you know. So Kahiga akaongea kwa funeral, you know. What Kahiga? Let me try to translate what Kahiga meant. Honorable Governor Kahiga or Senator, whatever he is, he tried to say that, you know, the mountain that was blocking us to excel or to go forward or that had taken the government is away now. It's gone away. And probably it was God's act, you know. And I mean, who can stop it? Let me tell you, it can be God's act for you to die. And, you know, nevertheless, all of us are going to dead. One day, we are going to die, whether you like it or not. Sasa mimi nikikufa na mtu aseme, you know, niye ameniroga, you know, what is a big deal? What is a big deal? Hata nikikufa the next minute, what is a big deal? Really, really and truly. Because I can die. Of course, I know my mom would mourn, maybe my dad, my brothers and sisters. But is that a big deal? I am going to die. You know, why are you guys following Kahiga? Did Kahiga cause Raila's death? Nyinyi wenyewe mlificha hata kifo ya Raila. Mnastahili kuwa mnauliza haya maswali kwa Kasongo. You should be asking Kasongo. Because Kasongo ndiye anasema, nilimsikia akiongea kwa funeral, akasema that they booked a flight to take Raila to Dubai. Hello. Akapelekwa Dubai, sijui akapelekwa wapi. Who knows what was happening along the way? Kwa flight, watu wanakulaga machakula. Nani anajua chenye walikula? You know? You guys must think deeper when you're blaming Kahiga. Just because he spoke, ulimi unaongea mambo mengi. Ulimi unasemanga, unaenda choo. But does the tongue really goes to the toilet? It just speaks of going to the toilet, but the tongue does not use the toilet or go to the toilet. Come on, man. We have to rise up politically. People, these are political, you know, they're called, oh my God, I'm forgetting. They're poetic, you know, they're poetic terms that people sometimes utter, you know. Na nikisema, iyo kifo yake, that day, it was like God's, you know, it was like God's. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But in the real sense, you know, Raila has brought commotion to the government because he made Kasongo impeach his deputy president. Was that a good act? In the real sense, it was not good. It was not good. It was a bad thing. So people can be evil. And you guys, you're hypocrites because you praise the evil to be good. You praise the evil to be good. So because we have not learned so far to point out wrong things, it will appear, because Kahiga said so, it will appear like he's a bad man. Like he has spoken something against the heavens. Hello. Listen to that clip. I can hear it and understand. He says it is just like a wave that came and found Raila and take him away. It was like a wave planned by God to take him away. Is that making a laughter that Raila died? No. Would have Raila done anything much if he would have lived? We don't know. God's time, wewe utakufa. Siku ya kufa kwangu. You know that song. You can sing it by yourself. I'm not going to sing it. But my dear friends, let us be careful of politics. Cheap politics create unto the nothing, comes into nothing. Wanga want to create a tribal politics. And if Wanga start it, hello, we keep quiet, you know, we don't talk much. I can tell you. One of the secrets of people from Central, they don't talk too much. And sometimes they don't even defend themselves too much. As you can see, even if this woman keep uttering G, you know, from her dirty tongue, from her dirty mouth, that she need to bleach, Honorable G is quiet. He is quiet. He is pondering. He is going deep. He is going deep. And I thank God he knows how to associate with the elders in the community, because our elders teach us a lot. That is why you'll find that our women are not very much out there, you know, busting, all kind of nasty words in politics. No. Men are trained to ponder, to take time, okay? And that is very important. Thank you, guys. And you can give your gifts, you know. You can send your gifts. You can throw your dollars. I know this tube that one day it's going to be something. So, guys, what can I say? Let us not take politics into our veins, into our stamina. You know, and those people, they gather at the table and celebrate together. Let me tell you, Ruto is not worried about Raila. Alikuja hapo akajinamisha, nataka kulia. Hiyo ni machozi ya chura. Those are tears, the frog's tears. Even Uhuru. They were not deeply. What they are, they have been shocked by this death. And so they are afraid because they'll be next, sooner or later. And we ourselves will be next. We are going to die. So I don't know why we find the death sometimes so strange. The politicians are going to die. And I think you have learned from this death. The politicians are going to die. And look at these politicians. Even Ruto is not ashamed being the president of the big nation of Kenya. He has been talking about SHA. The Ishongwa has been talking about SHA, how SHA is working. If SHA is working, why would he rush to take this man and rush him to India for treatment? And Muigai Joroge sang sometime earlier, and we took it for granted. This is a young prophet. You know what he said? That they don't leave us to die in the country. They are going to India. Some of them are going to China for medical treatment. Some of them are going to the States, and they'll come back to the country in a casket. Hello, should I play that song? Maybe in the next video, I'm going to play that song. But it was prophesied by Muigai Joroge from Mount Kenya. He prophesied that they'll go for treatment in India, and they are going to return back in the casket. You guys have been forcing our elderly women, our mothers, to register for SHA, that it is going to work for them, knowing for the truth, you know, that SHA is not working. I had asked my niece to register for it, and I can tell you the truth, for so far, when she went for it, it's not working. And you guys are lying to, you know, to the middle class people and those who cannot afford this medical practice, that it is working. If it was working, wewe Ruto haugetuma Raila akafie uko India. Angekaa Kenya kama wananchi wengine. Angekufia Kenyatta Hospital, Aga Khan Hospital, and because you know it is not working, it has been rejected by the private hospitals. That's why you are doing this. Hata wewe ukigojeka, si utaenda India. Casket yenye itazika hawa wenye wako Kenya, wenye una dhurumu, it is the same casket that gonna bury you. It might be expensive, but 6x4 is for everyone. In fact, we don't do cremation. So politicians, be ashamed of yourself. Politicians, be ashamed of yourselves. 254 politicians, be ashamed of yourself. Stop lying to our people. Stop lying to our people. Another thing, I see this Ruto has signed the cybercrime thing. He wants to control young people so that they don't raise their issues that are affecting them. And he has signed this document. It is so bad. It is so bad that our people can no longer express their feeling, can no longer express their emotions politically. But guess what? You can control people for a time, but not all the time. So this is seasonal. You are still one term. Ruto, you are still one term. It is Raila who sustained and maintained your breath. Indeed, you are a finish politically. You are a finish. Why? Because you are a killer. You are a thief. You have frauded all the people's money in the country. You have frauded the education money. That's why the students can't get better education. That's why corruption is in every corner, from the airport. From the moment you just land to the airport, people want kitu kidogo. The police, you know, the soldiers, I mean, guess what? It's only for a time. In 2 years' time, we're going to sing a different chorus. In 2 years' time, and I'm praying for God to raise a leader who will bring changes to Kenya. Yeah. I think you have eaten enough. People continue to die. Anyhowly, people continue to miss. You have joined Museveni, who is a dictator from Uganda, to kill our people. Look at Boniface Mwangi. Look how he was pressed in his balls in Tanzania. Just because of you, your day is coming. I point you without regret. Yeah, we soon meet. Yeah, I can tell you this face to face of what I am saying. I'm not saying into the hidden. What I'm saying, I can tell it to you face to face the day we meet. You're a scammer, a real scam. You know, you have brought the country behind because everything is a show off. I hear you saying of how you have the PhD and all the ukiuliza ati nani amesoma kama wewe. In fact, most educated people, you do not know if they're educated. You just know them that they're educated through their actions. But for you, you keep bragging every meeting that you go, every campaign meeting, because you started campaign right after the elections. Every meeting you go, you have to sing out how proud, how educated you are. How educated you are. People are educated, even more than you, and they keep quiet. I have a friend of mine who is a very young fellow. He's just 25 years and he has his PhDs and so forth. And he never brag. He's actually down to earth. I just know that he's educated when he uses vocabularies that sometimes I have to go to the AI or Google and so forth, or the dictionary, you know? Wow. Anyway. May Raila Amolo Odinga rest in peace. May all that he's done for the country, especially, fighting for the reformation to the Constitution, I think the 2011 Constitution, I think he played a very heavy role. And, he has also been very patient with with the leadership, fighting for presidency and not getting it, And I would say that he was leagued because I know we work hard. We work hard for votes in our place, so we vote when we decide to vote. And when we voted against him, we vote against him. Yeah, it's not a joke. Everybody gets up early in the morning and we go and vote. So when he says, that was his chorus, that he has been leagued all the time, Yeah, it's not easy. And let me tell you, for those who are ignoring the Central Province, keep ignoring them. Keep ignoring them. Where I am from. Na tunajijua. We are not going to tell you all of our secrets, okay? But we know what it is. We know what it means to vote. And we know what it means when we decide to stay in the yard and never go to vote. So do not take it for granted. For those who keep insulting us and cursing us and thinking we are merely nothing, we shall never see the government again, that's okay. That's okay. It is better than to be in that bread beast, which is actually filled with corruption. You're like brood of vipers. You're like brood of vipers. You're all like hypocrites. You're like you don't know Wagwan. Do not think your vote can take you to parliament. Your vote alone. It is the people who vote. And this time, the Gen Zs, and I know they're going to register for their ID cards. Most of the Gen Zs. And they're not going to vote you. They're not going to vote even people like Oburu. That is for you. You celebrate in a little, local thing. And it is tribal. Because all of you, I heard, you are just talking your language. And if it was Liga G, in a little celebration or a ceremony like that, speak about himself, you would say how tribal he is. But you guys, everything that you speak, it is honey. It is honey. And nobody should ever, never criticize you because everything that you speak is good. I'm warning you. I am warning you. I have nothing much to celebrate about Raila, but he has done his best and his soul rest in peace. If he was at peace with God, because I mean, actions sometimes speak louder than words, I don't know him much, but I know he fought for the Constitution, the 2011 Constitution, and I hear some people saying that he was a good man. Well and good, if you're a good man, you rest as a good servant. If you're a bad man, you rest as a bad servant, So I want to appreciate all that happened during his funeral, except for the politicians, because hypocritically they spoke nonsense, most of them. The people who had a little message to deliver, it was Sifuna and perhaps Babu Owino. Orengo, I mean Sifuna and Orengo, who were given a chance. People like, Babu Owino, they had no space there. But as he says, if you want to be the governor of Nairobi, it's not going to take long. I can prophesy this. He's going to take it in a daylight, whether he's in ODM or not. ODM right now, it's in misery. It is shaken. It is shaken. And some people like Junet, who have been sucking up Railas' blood, they're afraid. They're afraid. That's why they're insulting Reggae G. They're afraid. It is him who had kept in the pocket. Even the man from Narok, all of those guys, even Joho, they have been hanging around Baba. Yeah. Right now they have no roots. They got no roots. Even Wanga, they got no roots. They know that very well. Yeah. That they are standing in the waters, and it is the Gen Zs who is going to decide. And I want the people of Nyanza to wake up and show them the dust. Show those people the dust. They have eaten, their belly is full. They are saying that they have taken it to the broad government, to the corrupt government. And if I may ask people, are you benefiting really? These guys have got to fill up their bellies. Their stomach is full. And the next thing they're going to do to you is only to fart. They're going to fart on you. Watakuja kuanyabia. They'll just fart on you. Na wakikuja kwenu, tunasikiza ground. Anyway, I was born different. Yeah, I love politics, but at the same time, I'm not excluded, or prohibited to criticize what is not good. There's so much for me to say, but let me not say it now. I want to send condolences to the family in Nakuru that lost previously 17 of their family members. May they rest in peace. For the families that lost their dear ones at Kasarani during Raila Odinga's funeral, I want to wish you well, and I pray that God console you at this moment. There is also a woman who was killed by her husband. I think she was choked, or yali alimunyonga. Yeah. So may God bless Kenyans and the people of all the world, that we continue to have a love for each other. Hatred is not good at all. And if Kahiga had hatred in his heart, I rebuke that, because hatred don't build up to anything, But I can see he was just politically speaking, really. He never meant it, And God can take away. It is actually God who takes. That's what we say as Christians, The Lord has given and the Lord takes away. So we are not there to judge anybody. Mtu akikufa amekufa. Na nikasikia NICC ati walikuwa wanafuata Kahiga. For what? For what really? For what? Just because he said that? Mumekosa kazi. And I know Kenyans always look, especially your politicians, look for nonsense topics to come to discuss in the House of Law. Nonsense topics, so that the important thing will be forgotten. So now they're discussing about Rigaji, they're discussing about Kahiga, whereas they should be discussing how many people, how many money has been allocated for people to receive the electricity, how many monies have been allocated for people to receive water. I see a lot of people catching water from the river still with gallons in this age. Not other countries do that. Instead of thinking how they can build up reservoirs whereby most people will benefit from water. Unajua reservoirs ni nini? Hizi matanki kubwa. The rain is coming, it is October. You know? Na mvua ikikuja inapeleka watu tu. And this politician can spend one whole day in the parliament just chatting about Kahiga. Senators, governors, big people. Waste of time. You are a waste. You're a wasted type of people I've ever come across in the world. Big up yourself. Grow up, man. Mature. Like the ministers in UK. Do you see when they go to parliament? It's a serious business of what they are doing to their people. And they don't waste time. They speak fast, fast, fast. Anyway, I want to wish our Jamaican people well, and that they will be at peace in this time of these Melissa hurricanes and storms, that they are going to survive and be safe. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Sijakasirika, sina hasira, lakini hama politicians wa Kenya na hao watu wenye wanakaa kama wamenyeshewa. You are really diminishing your character. You know, let us grow up, let us help each other, and let us not take politics again into our veins. You know, politics are just passing. You know, now watu wanaongea hivyo wanakula pesa za umma. Do you know how much money was spent in that funeral? You think of it. Think of it. How much billions were spent just in that funeral, and it is a show off. It's a show off. Hata Ruto mwenyewe hakuwa ameweka Raila mahali. It's just a show off. Yeah, and people can pretend. People can come and cry at your funeral like a frog, and they never give you a piece of bread to eat. Huh? Na wanakuja wanalia machozi. Wanalia machozi na sijui kama ni kulipwa analipwa. Again, I saw the way we moon. Na nikashidwa, yani watu wa Western. Yani ndivyo muna moon. Let us be controlled. We have studied now, you know, watu wamesoma kiasi. Sio kulialia ovyo ovyo. Yani you scratch yourself to the ground. You know, you roll up to the ground. Hello, man. Tumepoteza Matiba, who was a big man of the state. Mulituona tukilia, tukijichaganya, rolling on the ground. Did you see us doing that? Tukapoteza Gachagua mwenyewe, yule alikuwa mkubwa. Tukapoteza Delito Gachagua. Tukapoteza Kibaki. Muliona tukilialia hivyo? You know, there is a way of mourning. And that is why people died. You know, mourn respectably. You can even cry, you know. Anyway, I don't know. Just tulikuwa tumefundishwa different, you know. We cry, but we cry. You know, there is decency in doing things. Everything that you do, there must be a decency. When you laugh, in our culture, we are one not to laugh like Kariko. Niguso watu iraga. Niki marathe kata Kariko. You don't laugh hysterically as a man. There is a way you laugh. When you cry, you don't cry hysterically. There is a way that you laugh. You know? There is a way that you cry, you know? You can cry all day, all night. And thank God, I think huyu mkubwa, huyu mzee alikuwa wise to some extent, because that's why he put that funeral in 72 hours. Yeah. Because kama angeweka 1 week, mungekumunalia kila siku, mukifuatana kila mahali. Hello, let us grow, let us upgrade. Pope Francis alikufa, the in charge, the leader of the entire Catholic Church in the whole world. You know, I mean, he sacrificed his life for everyone. And people cried and they mourned, but they mourned decently, you know. Vinyo unaona ligejia kimoon, that is the way to go. You don't waste your time, you know. Yeah, you can cry, you know. I mean, I have cried. I've lost my brother. You know, mnaweza kufikiria sijawahi tupa poteza mtu, someone who is so close to you. I lost my closest brother, you know. I will tell you next time how I mourned. We can grow and we can do better, guys. Yeah. May God bless you and stay strong. Yeah, man.